Hi, I'm Phil Wendley. I want to introduce you to a capstone project I'm sponsoring on conversational interfaces. The graphical user interface, or GUI, is dead, or at least it's no longer the center of how we interact with computers. For 40 years, software has been designed around windows, menus, and forms, but that's changing. Today, we can talk to our software, and our software can talk back. In this capstone project, you'll help build what comes next, a conversational interface. This semester, your team will create a natural language interface for the Manifold application, a system that creates digital twins of physical things using something called the Pico engine. Manifold already provides a solid event query API and a traditional GUI to interact with your things. But in a world where large language models are becoming the universal user interface layer, we're going to ask a different question. What if you didn't need a GUI at all? This is a demonstration of the current GUI for Manifold. I've already logged in because at first we're going to skip authentication in our project. You can see that I have a collection of things that I have put in Manifold. Things like my Delsey Pears carry-on, my trunk bag for my bike, a power pack, Apple Studio display, Arkle bike bag, etc. Okay? I use it to keep track of things like keys and expensive things. Like, for example, these power packs for my bike cost about $1,000. I like to keep track of when I've bought them, maybe have the receipt, that sort of thing. If somebody finds something that I've lost, for example, a key, or if they find my luggage, they can scan the tag I've put on it, which has this code, and it will lead them to a message I've created. So, for example, for this key, if I click that, I've entered information like my email, my phone number, and a message that says, please return my key. So if someone were to find my key and scan the tag, they would see this message. Okay. Let me show you how we add a new thing. When we add a new thing, we get to give it a name. Let's just say my demo keys. Create the thing. Okay. And the user interface doesn't necessarily do a great job of putting that right in my face. So where did it go? Demo keys right here. So I'll open that. And there are a couple of things I could do. So one thing I could do is I could install an app. So I'm going to install, it comes automatically with the Safe in Mind app. I'm going to install the Journal app. In our project, we will be just working with the Safe in Mind and Journal apps, and we won't worry about installing or uninstalling apps, at least at first. Okay, so the Journal app lets me put something on here. So I can say, this is for the demo. These keys don't really exist. One of the ways I use journaling is I keep track, for example, of when my furnace filters have been changed. So I can scan a tag on my furnace and it tells me that you last changed this. I used to keep track of my oil changes, but I don't actually have any cars that need oil anymore because all my cars are electric. So I don't do that. Safe in Mind lets me register tags. So let me put a tag in here. So this one, I've got it sitting in front of me, happens to have the code NCVJ9N, and it is a square tag, not Pico Labs. And I say register that. And now, did it work? Oh, sorry. Yep, there it is. And I can edit my information. The default information just has my phone number. And if I don't do anything and scan that tag, it'd just say, this tag has been registered. That's all it would do. But I can choose to put more information in, make that information public for someone who scans it. I can change this. If I'd lost the keys, then I'd go in here and put all this information in. So these are the kinds of interactions that we're going to do through a conversational interface. GUIs are familiar. They work and use patterns everyone understands. But a GUI forces the user to know what to click, where to find features, and what's even possible. A conversational interface removes those constraints. Instead of navigating forms, users simply ask for what they want, the same way they'd talk to a person, and that's exactly what you'll build. There aren't any drop-downs, there's no tabs, there's no hidden settings. Alice just asks, "What can you do?" Manifold responds. Alice says what she wants to do. Manifold asks the right questions and guides her along. Alice responds, and Manifold does multiple steps to create it and then suggests some next steps that Alice could take, adding a purchase receipt, adding a square tag. Alice gives it the purchase receipt, says she wants to set up square tag. Manifold responds, asks her what the square tag code is. Alice gives it, and Manifold responds, "Great, I've added that thing to your bag. Make sure you attach the tag to the bag." Your job this semester is to make this interaction real. You'll connect a large language model to Manifold's API using MCP, the Model Context Protocol. MCP lets the LLM call tools that represents Manifold's event and query operations. Your conversational layer will interpret natural language, choose the right tools, and coordinate multi-step interactions. All of this will also be reflected in the standard GUI. The GUI isn't disappearing, but it's no longer the only way or even the best way to interact with complex systems. This semester you'll help shape what comes next, software you can simply talk to. I'm excited to see what you build.